Well, we are creating Vagabond, our graph database. So it's the getting back into JavaScript and figuring out the JavaScript way of doing things, and do I want things synchronous, do I want things asynchronous. Very interesting. So one of the things I've been wondering or working on is you've got you've got classes and all the ES6 stuff I showed you last time, but you also have uh, getters and setters. So getters and setters are nice for things like the ID, because I can proxy the underscore ID, and then I can have a setter on there and say, nope, ID is immutable. And then I have an internal API versus an external API, and it's a read only, and it's an easy way of doing that. I could use the actual values, but then I couldn't but it seems a little bit cleaner to do them this way. Then I can document the getters and setters, and JS docs should hopefully pick those up. I need to find that out. The problem is properties. So I was initially thinking, well, we could do add property, remove property. But I was thinking, well, Java, it would be nice to just go node.properties dot whatever the property was and set it and delete it, remove it, update it. The problem is, because I'm going to back this, I need to be able to capture the values. So with a setter, this set is not called for sub properties on the object properties. I got naming issues. So if I do node.properties.foo, this is not called. So I could look at using observers, which is in ES7. There's going to be some serious performance issues with that. Probably don't want to do that. I could also use like a proxy from ES6, but doesn't have widespread support, and it's not in Babel, whatever it is. So it's not available there. So, arg. So I may just have to do, add property, get property, remove property. The thing I don't like is then I might as well do get ID and set ID. And I don't use nice getters and setters, and I don't know if I want to do a mix or not a mix, and so I don't know. The other thing I was wondering is nodes have IDs and edges have IDs. I think I'm going to make them optional. But if they do have IDs, are they global IDs? So essentially, can you have an edge with the same ID as a node? I'm not sure. It's one of those where I'm like, I don't know. So it's another thing I'm working on. Got testing, describe constructor, should initialize, should error on setting the ID, error on setting the labels. So I'm making a little bit of an opinionated, what is it called? A little bit of an opinionated implementation of a graph database. It's a property graph. It's in memory, and I want to be able to set IDs, and I want to be able to set labels on everything. So those should be immutable. So I'm being a little opinionated there. Yeah. So I'm working on that, testing the JS docs. It's kind of it for today. Kind of just a lot of learning and testing little things, trying to get the main how things are going to work in there, and then I also need to make this I don't know if to make it asynchronous or if to background synchronous process that writes. And if you do that, then how do you handle failure state? So if I do it synchronous with an asynchronous write to disk essentially for persistence, what happens if I have an error? Or I could make everything asynchronous, which may be the best bet. So things to do, things to mess with. Probably should make it asynchronous. So ES6 promises, here we come. So that's it for today. Yeah, that's it. Take care. Have some fun.